Hey everyone, it is Emerald Marbers here, and I know this isn't going to be a plush video because this is just the best idea. I got inspired by another YouTuber, I forgot his name, but yeah, today I'm going to be doing how to voice the Koopalings like I do. If you want to ever use my voices, like Roy, Iggy, and all those guys. Now, keep in mind, I wouldn't take this video too seriously because I am not a professional voice actor, so, yeah, I just try my best to sound like them, but, yeah. Another thing is, please don't take this video too seriously because, like I said, of course, I'm not a professional voice actor, and this is just me trying to give out some advice for you guys, okay? So, you know, like, let's say I just go, hey, so without further ado, let's get into it. So of course, the first impression I want to do is for the youngest, Larry. I wouldn't say there's, an impression too much for Larry, other than, like, if you have Bowser Jr. and Larry sound the same, then there is a little bit of a difference. Because Bowser Jr. could be like, hey, what's up, man? And then, like, or something like, yo, what's up, Larry? And then, like, and then nothing do, what up, too. I mean, that's just some example I'm giving. But, for Larry, I tried to use your normal voice and then maybe add, like, yo, Junior, what's up? Even though my real voice sounds like that. And then Junior's like, yeah, nothing, man. What's up? So, you see how they can, like, have some kind of similar voice. You don't really, like, have to put too much effort into them. So they're probably, the Larry and Junior, I know I'm adding Junior, I kind of consider him the Koopaling, he kind of works with them. They look the same, yeah. So they're definitely very good characters. They definitely are pretty easy. They're the easiest if you want to just start off with voice acting. So, yeah. Next, we're going to move on to Morton. Now, Morton's a little tricky. You don't know proper techniques, and you might not be able to go, my name is Morton, yeah, like that or anything. All you want to do is, like, kind of suck in, like, your throat, like, tighten your throat up, I guess, and you go, kind of like Super Mario Logan's Jeffy voice, if you know him. I'm sure you do, though. But, yeah. And then you gotta, like, tighten your throat, tighten. Same thing, but, and then try to just, like, make a voice like, I'm a Morton. So, like, try to smile a little bit, like, so he can go, hey, I'm Morton, yeah. So you can make that, wouldn't say after that, you can go, like, me. Sometimes, I like to just try to, like, sound coyote, like, I would just start off by going, and then I try to deepen it down a little bit. I'm Morton. So, he's a little tricky. And then Wendy, my fabulous Juju, if you know our channel, does, almost just like me in, voice acting. Oh my god, I'm a Wendy. So for Wendy, I wouldn't say, once again, not too hard. It's definitely easier than Morton. Morton's probably going to be your hardest one, unless it's hard for you to make a high-pitched voice. Then I recommend, I'll show you another way to make Iggy, since some people can't get their voice so high. Especially if you're older, it's easier for younger kids. You can go pretty easily. It's kind of like, I'm going to say this right off front. Iggy is going to have a lot of the same things as Morton would, so I wouldn't get too typical with him. If you even had trouble making Morton, like with tightening in your throat, then Iggy's going to be the same, just a higher pitched voice, not lower pitched like I did. So back for Wendy, oh my god, all you need to do is kind of smile, and then you kind of just go like that. And I'll say it's easier for women to make that kind of voice. Some men can make it, but it's easier for women to make that kind of voice because Wendy's a girl. So I'm not saying boys can't do it. Anyone can do it. it's probably just a little easier to make it sound a little more like her for women, unless you're a professional voice actor or take a lot of time and practice. Then sure, men can do it. So the next Koopling, hang on, I gotta forget who the next Koopling is. It's Iggy, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna tighten our throat again, and then you're gonna go, and then you gotta make it very, very high pitched. And he's not the easiest, but I'm gonna show you 2 ways to make him. Morton doesn't. You can just go, "Hey, I'm me, Morton," but it's really hard to make a good Morton voice unless you gotta go, and that's kind of the same. So I wouldn't bother trying a different way for Morton, unless you don't want to make him sound like the game. So yeah. Iggy, on the other hand, you kind of gotta make your voice kind of sound like you're screaming, but not too loud, and then high pitched with your throat tightened, so it's kind of like sounds like these. It's me, Iggy. And if you're really good with high pitched voice impressions and kind of screaming, then I don't really think Iggy would be much of a problem for you. So yeah. Next is back to I had another way of doing Iggy. Sometimes I like to sometimes I just tell stories to myself for some reason, but then when I do that, I'm like, okay, so I'm Iggy. So, I try not to make him sound professionally like him. I will admit that when I started making Iggy's voice, though, it was a bit like that when I kind of made it like, oh, hi. And that actually started hurting my voice, so I changed it to like, oh, yeah, let's go. So this Iggy isn't too hard. You just kind of got to change your tone a bit, like, oh, yeah. Sort of like Morton, just lower your pitch, your voice. Lower it. So, yeah. And then Lemmy. Hi, I'm Lemmy. Try to make it sound kind of like, hi. Try to make it like sound cheerful, a little bit high-pitched. Hi, I'm Lemmy. And then you shouldn't have too much trouble with him. Alright, next we got a very easy one. Roy is probably going to be the second easiest in this list. Maybe besides Ludwig and Larry, like third easiest, but yeah, I don't know. But Roy is very easy because all you gotta do is just change your voice to country tone, like that. Hi, chump, I'm Roy. And I mean, I live in Georgia, so that's kind of south, and that's the country considered. So I've got a pretty good country accent. Yeah, that's the easiest way I make Roy, cause just think of country accent. And then Ludwig, let's just put it that he's one of the easiest, because if you know how to do a London accent like that, then it shouldn't be much of a difficulty for you. So if you guys, all you have to say is like, hello, I'm Ludwig, try to maybe bring your voice a lower pitch kind of tone, since, Ludwig's a little more like, ha, I to saw Ludwig. And then sometimes I like to make him sound like he has, like, pauses, like, oh, if you want, and then it sounds kind of darker, so you can make that lower pitch, unless you want to do, hello, it's Ludwig. Yeah, that is it, guys. Those are my voice impressions for the Koopalings. If you have any other things that you want me to voice impress, like Mario, Luigi, how to do that, yeah, keep in mind, of course, I'm not a professional voice actor, like I said in the beginning, so don't get too typical, like if this video isn't perfect, or if you get really mad at my voice impressions. Just remember that I tried my best, so, yeah, don't get too mad at me for that. Goodbye!